Okay guys, so let's continue our next discussion, which is all about how to install Spark in Mac. It's super easy. Okay, now if you are a Mac user, we have a beautiful concept called Homebrew. What is a Homebrew? That is basically a dependency manager which will help us to install any software. Okay, so the first thing that you should do is go to your browser and say install Homebrew. If you have purchased your Mac recently, okay, first time, go to this website. You can directly go to brew.sh also, and there is a tiny command here. Just copy this, click on this, go to your terminal, say terminal. Okay, let me increase the size. You'll say command plus, that will increase your size, and say paste and hit enter. If you have set your password, I'll minimize a little bit. Now, this command would actually install a Homebrew for you. And what is a Homebrew? Homebrew is basically a small tool which can help you download anything automatically. Okay, you don't have to worry about how to download it, how to configure it. Homebrew will take care of everything. For example, if suppose you want to download, let's say, a software like Zoom, right? So just search it here. Just search it here. Okay, now I think it is not Zoom, so probably Zoom. Okay, so see here, you just write this command and Zoom will be automatically installed. You don't have to go to the website of Zoom, download that software, and do all this stuff. One line and it's all installed. So that is what a beauty of Homebrew is. Okay, so it says Homebrew is run entirely by unpaid volunteer. Please consider this, and installation is successful. So your installation is successful. Homebrew is installed. Okay, now let me close this browser and we will start fresh. Step number 2, now update the brew if required. Okay, so if you feel you are already using a Homebrew and before you move to any step you want to upgrade your Homebrew, just say home update. That will update the brew version, and then also fire brew upgrade. It's already up to date. Okay, now likewise say upgrade. It will take a lot of time. It will take a good time if you have not updated that from a long time. Okay, I've just updated that yesterday night so that today I don't have to wait a lot. Okay, it takes little time and it will be automatically done. Next, now let us start installing Java first. Okay, so if you want to stick to Java 17, you can use this command, brew install openjdk at the rate 17. Okay, or let us try to install the openjdk recent version. Should not be a big problem. So this would be the command. And how do you know about this command? Just go back here and just search it here. You'll say I want to install Java. Now see here, you get the command from here. I have not created this command. I've collected these commands from here. Check it out. Also known as Java OpenJDK at the rate 23. If you want to download any other version, let's say if you want to download Java 8, OpenJDK at the rate 8. 11 this, 17 this, 21 this. Okay, and if you just say install OpenJDK, it will install the latest version. So let's go back and say paste, hit enter. All right, it says it's already installed and up to date. For you it will take little time. You don't have to enter anything and it will be all done all together. Okay, next, install Scala. Now let us install Scala. Again you will say brew install Scala. This will install the Scala latest version. Okay, it has installed Scala 3.6.2. but you may say, what about the compatibility issues? We'll not worry about that so much now. Okay, now install SBT. Once Scala is done, let us also install SBT for your Scala dependencies. Okay, it says it's already installed, and if you want to reinstall, there is a command called reinstall. Okay, this is also done. Now let us install Apache Spark. If you are a Mac user, you can try simultaneously. So brew install Apache Spark. This will also not take a lot of time, and it says it's already up and running. Spark 3.5.4 is up and running. I'll close this. Once it is done, let me close it and let me open the terminal again, and we'll say Spark self. Okay, now if you see, after some time you see that Spark 3.5.4 is ready, and it says this Spark 3.5.4 is compiled using Scala 2.12 and compatible with Java 17. Okay, now we all know that in our Mac we have Java latest version. All right, we have Java 21 version. Again, let me say Scala, we have latest version. All right, so if you see, we have our Scala version like 3.6. okay, now which means our setup is all good, and this Spark is actually compiled in 2.12 and Java 17. Okay, it does not mean that we have installed Java 17. No, this information is to help you understand that currently you are using a Spark 3.5.4 which is compiled on Java 2.12.18 and using Java 17. Okay, anything above that is always welcome, anything below that is not at all welcome, because things will not even work. Okay, so we are okay to go ahead with this without any problem. Okay, now since it is all done, you can go back to your localhost 4040 and check your jobs the way we have done. So localhost 4040 to see if you have your Spark job UI up and running. If yes, we are good. Okay, now let's go down. Congratulations, your local Spark is up and running. If you quit your Spark cell that we have done in our previous step and try again, it will simply not able to connect because the Spark context is killed. Okay, now on the same Spark you can start writing your word count example. Now let us see our next example, that is how to run the same word count example in REPL on Mac. Okay, and the process would be same, because once you have your Spark up and running, it does not matter what you are writing, right? Okay, now let's see this. Create a file. First, let us create a file called word1.txt in a location. And you know that in Mac and in Windows, the file path is little different. In Windows, we call C drive, D drive, but in your Mac or Linux, it's like slash XYZ, whatever. Okay, so first thing, I would remove this folder. I'll open a new terminal. You just say Control plus, and that will give you a new terminal. Now we are here in our terminal. Okay, the first thing that I would like to do is remove the file if at all is there. Okay, done. Next, let me create a directory. This directory, I'll create a directory called /tmp /dataset. So mkdir -p /tmp /dataset. Done. Now let me get inside that cd/tmp/dataset. Done. Where am I? pwd. Where am I? I'm inside /tmp/dataset. I'm inside this. Let me create a file called word1.txt. vim word1.txt. Okay. Now I'll say insert mode. I'll press I, and when I press I, my mode changes to insert. By default, it was like this. When I press I, it gives me the insert mode. Okay. All right. Now I'll start writing something here. Apple ball, apple, apple, apple ball, ball, apple. Okay. And I'll say escape colon WQ. So I've added something. Okay. And then I said escape colon WQ and enter to save and exit my work. Done. So once this is done, now launch your Spark cell. So we are in our Spark cell here in the next terminal. Okay. So if you want me to close this, I can close this, terminate. Okay. And this is also done. So let us start it from fresh. I'll say terminal, and I'll say Spark cell. Let me say command plus to increase the size. Now the steps would remain same. You create your input RDD by pointing to that path. The only path changes. Okay, so this is we have edited the same document. So you first create your RDD. This is your RDD. Let's go back here. Control L to clear the screen and say paste. So this will give me the input RDD, and I can do a input.collect to see the output. It will give me an array. It will give me an array. Okay. Now I can say give me words and do a flat map. Done. Okay, and then I can say this is the same explanation what we have done for the Windows. If you want to recap, just go to the Windows installation and see this out. And now I'll say for every word start emitting word N1. For every word start emitting word and one, right? Count one per word. Okay. Now again, let us do a collect and see. So if you see, we've got apple 1, ball 1, apple 1, ball 1, and so on. Now we can say reduce by key. Either you write it like this, or you write the shorthand like underscore plus underscore. Okay, we got this counts. Now just say counts dot collect. Done. And now you can say count dot save as text file. Looks like there is an error. Let's see what is the problem here. File already exists exception. Okay, so looks like the file already exists. So what you can do is change the path. Okay, so slash tmp slash output word2.txt. Now so let me click on this plus to launch a new terminal. Done. And let us go to this path. Let us go to this path to verify the content now. Okay, so I'll say copy. I'll go here and I'll say cd paste. Do I have this path? If yes, let me in. pwd, I'm here. ls, what is there inside? We have part 0 and part 1. Okay, then I'll say cat part 0. I got this. Okay, cat part 1. I got ball 4. I can also do cat star. That means show me the content of all the files together, and that will give me apple 5 ball 4. So this is done. Now the same thing can be put together into a single file, the way we have done in the previous examples. So I can create a complete file, and let me create a file, say slash tmp script word count spark.scala. So let's do that. Okay, so I'll create a directory. mkdir slash tmp slash script. Let's go inside that. cd slash tmp slash script. Done. Let us add this file. Let's create a file. So I can say vim, and since I'm inside that, I don't really have to type this whole line, right? Because I'm already inside my script file, script folder. So I can say vim word count spark.scala. Press I to take it to the insert mode. And then you can copy this whole command that we have used otherwise. And say right click and say paste. Escape colon wq. Done. This is done. Okay, now once this is done, now you can execute the file using the below command. You can use this command, but before you use that command, make sure that you delete this location, right? So let's say rm-rf paste. This will delete. This should, just a minute, we messed it up. So this will delete that path. Done. Okay, now you can run this command. So go back and run it from here. Run it from outside of your terminal. And now if you wish to run the file from Spark Shell, you can also do this. So let's go back here. This is executed. See here, this is executed and we got the output back. So if you want to check the output, you can go back to the terminal. You can go back to the terminal and go to this place where you have written your data. You have written your data in this area, right? So let me say cat paste. In this location there are a lot of files. Show me the output, and I saw that apple 5 and ball 4. Okay, now let's move to this. If you want to run the file from the Spark Shell, then what you can do is edit your file, right? So edit your file and remove your system.exit of O. So without pressing I can just say D 2 times. I can press D 2 times and the line will be gone. Okay, escape colon WQ. All right, so I've deleted that file. Now I should remove this path also. I'll say rm-rf. R means iteratively and f means forcefully. Okay, so let's say delete the path forcefully. Done. Now I'll go to my script file. Done. Now I'll launch my Spark cell from here. Wait for some time, right? And then you can launch this command. Once this command is launched, you will see that it will pick up the file from the location. It will start executing all the commands which is present there, and it will write the data into the file. So we are in our Spark cell, and just say paste, enter, and this will load the file. It will do everything that is needed, and it will simply get our job done. Once that is done, you can again go back to the same location and see the content. Okay, so content would be here. So you'll say cat paste slash star, and if you see apple 5 ball 4 has again come up.